Welcome back to Talking Thursday. Today we are talking to Kristian Krigge Wiklund, who is an arm wrestling commentator, arm wrestler, content creator, and a just general funny, nice guy. And we talk about, YouTube, content creation, the arm wrestling scenes, and how life is with autism and how that affects, his different kind of activities. It's a good long chat, and I'm trying to shorten these intros, so let's get into it. So, I have known about you for some time, of course, as someone that very much enjoys doing content around arm wrestling. I often see you at competitions, and you produce some high quality content around that, and you seem to have been
Thank you.
very sort of engaged with the arm wrestling community for quite a long time. When it comes to content creation and arm wrestling, what is it about those things that grip you?
It is whenever you are trying to think about arm wrestling, you are just thinking about two sweaty dudes or girls in this case, and you just see the actual match, but not so much any more of that. With the type of content that I want to produce, it is I want the audience to experience it through my lens.
Yeah.
And see everything that is happening with the athletes, the referees, and it is people are focusing on the match itself without noticing the subtle details in between, like the body language, how are they breathing, the complete attention that they have on their faces while they're loading, and just having this look before they are starting. And then you can see the aftermath of the round, if when somebody is so happy that they just want to break down in tears, just like they have been watching the Return of the King for the first time. And then you have the one that has seen one of the most devastating movies of all time. So that is one of many things that I want to showcase in order to all non-arm wrestlers that see arm wrestling as I see it.
Yeah, I feel like you do a great job of conveying that sort of feeling and experience, because that is like the importance of content creation, I think, because anyone can just put up a camera and do stats and stuff like that. But yeah, that's not what sport is really about. It is about the experience and the emotion, whether you win or lose, I guess. Arm wrestling specifically is something that people truly obsess about. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, there are a lot of variabilities to this. One factor is that you can see with the strength of the athletes, you can see the techniques, but some like to view it as part of a chess game, almost that you can have enough strength to pull off the technique, and you can have enough technique to use your strength. But there are two other factors that plays along with the arm wrestling game itself. It is tactics, which is described as you can put the pressure in one place and then completely attack another. And the muscle memory of your opponent might not react on time in order for that to be successfully adjusted to that type of pressure that the opponent that you fought were giving a certain type of pressure, and then completely attacks on a different area that you are not prepared for to be dealing with. And also, the fourth pillar into the scene of arm wrestling is heart. You needed to have the heart and your mind connected to that, because at least for me, with dealing with the autistic spectrum, I needed to use that to the best of my abilities, so I can get as much access to the arm wrestling game itself. Because I don't know with you, when you have like almost 20 or 30 tabs on your computer and all of them are playing sounds at the same time.
Yeah.
That is basically how it is for people with autism and autistic spectrum every single day. So that is something that most of us have been trying to categorize, so we don't get completely overwhelmed and we lose focus on what we need to do, especially on the task ahead, whether if it is arm wrestling or life in general as a whole.
Yeah.
So.
And is arm wrestling training or competing sort of a moment of peace in that manner, or is it something that you have to overcome?
Yeah, that is something that has been. Sometimes it works completely in my favor, and sometimes it goes completely against me, and I need to just recollect and regather my thoughts so I don't get burnt out before I even get to the arm wrestling table.
Yeah.
That is why, I don't know, when I was at Iron House 5 and pulled some super matches over there, I was using. Have you ever heard about loop earplugs?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have
I was
a pair
using.
as well. Yeah.
I was using these for that specific purpose, because I did notice when I was at IFA Europeans, when I was doing a lot of stuff that when I was telling about all of those stuff that I was doing over at the IFA Europeans, people were just thinking like, "Are you fucking crazy?" So I was at the time when the Europeans was over, I was laying in my bed almost like crying my eyes out because I was so overwhelmed. I was so tired. My emotions was just running haywire because of all the things that I had to sort out. And luckily for me, I had Johannes Andersson and Jonna Blind that were there. They did not need to say anything, but were their mere presence alone could make me just regather myself and just be my normal self once more. Because whenever we get this overstimulations and overwhelmingness, for us autistic people, it can really hit hard, especially when those type of instances are happening. So I was using these type of loop earplugs, and this one is a bit more specific because you can actually adjust.
Yeah.
So you can sort out the different sound frequencies. Like for this one, this is like for social gatherings. This one is when you're pulling at the tournaments or live events like music festivals and all of that. And this is like for deep focus, so you shout out most of the sound frequencies that are out there, besides the one that are speaking right in front of you. So,
Yep. Have you?
So, yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Have you tried sort of listening to? There's different kind of clips of long hertz sounds with the same hertz for like half an hour, and what's your experience been with that?
I've been trying them out at work, and sometimes they can be like, when you have been struck with a sound frequency for the first time, and you just go,
Yeah.
"What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, just mostly because rather than viewing myself as a victim and just feeling sorry for myself that I am not doing that, all of this negativity, all of this uncertainness, and all of that. But me, on the other hand, really hate and feeling myself as the victim and all of that. Rather than feeling sorry for myself, I always try to find solutions to the current situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm rather almost like the saying that you don't want to do it, but you need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So in that instance, I've been trying different methods, and sometimes they're working, and sometimes I just need to completely do something else. Like in this instance, when it comes to sound frequencies and all of that, the funny thing is that sometimes I can go around thousands of people during a arm wrestling type of environment, but when it comes to sitting on a restaurant at Kungsträdgården in Stockholm, whether there can be a lot to deal with at the same time in that regard. But whenever I'm putting myself in those type of situations, the more easier it gets to be dealing with all of the sound frequencies, all of the sudden movements and noises, and all of the over usage of a perfume that the boys and the girls are using at the same time.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm being used to that, and I am at the same time are using these, it can be life-changing as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, it's sort of a cliche, this thing about ADHD or autism being sometimes a curse and sometimes a superpower. But when it comes to sort of sport-specific purposes, the thing with developing these sort of coping mechanisms to fix your surroundings is actually quite a beneficial thing, because the things that bother autistic people to the point where they can't stand it, it sort of bothers normal people as well, but they don't care about it enough to sort of do something about it. And I feel like having sort of a set structure for when it comes to competition, of course that's good. Of course it's sort of making the arrangement for everything to be perfect. And what is something at a competition that might sort of mess up your structured approach?
I do know at the beginning when I was going around at new tournaments outside of the Scandinavian route, it was usually with keeping a time schedule. And I do remember when I was at the Euro Arms 2014, the entire time schedule during the seniors was so completely off that you can almost watch a movie before your class is actually starting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but in the recent times, I have been developing this plan of a plan of a plan
Yeah.
of a plan.
Yeah.
So whatever it is when you are saying like you have a plan for a plan for a plan, it almost makes me sound like the autistic version of Batman. I don't know.
That's true.
So,
Well,
whenever I am having this type of plans, whenever a certain scenario is not happening, then I'm prepared for that scenario. And if that scenario is not happening, then I'm prepared for that scenario. And with that type of a mindset, it had made it a lot easier for me to be dealing with everyday stuff like socializing, try to make eye contact with the one that you are talking to, because most of us with autistic spectrum or severe cases of autism have really bad social cues, social development, because all of us have to relearn that step by step by step. I mean, for some that are thinking that it's a bit normal.
Yep.
But for most of us with the autistic spectrum or autism and all of that, we need to like basically like a practice all over and over and over and over again in order to make it seem normal.
Yeah, yeah. And if you can sort of plan for and take control of the things that you can do that with, does it become easier to accept and overcome the things that you can't control?
Yeah, sometimes sometimes it can really work against me, and sometimes in that regard, I try to tell to my girlfriend and all of that that when the sudden changes happen that is beyond my control, it can really be bothersome. It is almost like you know exactly that this is beyond your control, but your body reacts in a
Yeah,
completely different manner. And it's almost like you have a Jekyll and Hyde personality that is going on inside of your head, and sometimes it can really drain the energy out of you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand that. Absolutely. I feel like maybe a lot of times autism comes with a sort of problematic form of introversion, because the original introversion meant that new things and new people are bothersome. Do you find that, for example, eye contact is easier with people that you know very, very well, or is it the same?
Uh, it sometimes it can be easy, and sometimes it can not be easy. I mean, for instance, whenever those who know me on a deeper level knows that I can be looking away, but at the same time, when I'm finishing my sentence, I'm looking straight back at them,
Yeah,
so they know I am engaged with them as
yeah,
them are engaged with me.
yeah, yeah,
And sometimes I just need to almost I don't know, when it comes to arm wrestling and all of that, sometimes uh, close my eyes and trying to just regather my breathing and try to shut out different noises and all of that. And when we are going back to with eye contact and all of that, whenever I'm pulling an arm wrestling match, and sometimes you can see me staring directly straight down on the arm wrestling table, and whenever they are trying to trash talk with me, I'm just trash talking me like,
yeah, yeah,
but you do exactly the same. Like almost like
yeah,
they don't even exist to me.
yeah,
I just feeling the hand that I'm just gonna be pinning down to this side.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that feels like a good solution to it. You talked
Mhm.
about this a little bit.
Using that to my own advantage.
Yeah, I see some people staring at the roof, and I feel like practicing the same sort of thing over and over is better than sort of being with your opponent if you're not super good at
Mhm.
that. Some people obviously are quite excellent at
Mhm.
psyching out their opponents and stuff like that. You talked
Yep.
about this a little bit earlier. How much is arm wrestling about the sort of psychological part? You have, of course, strength and skill, but there's a whole another aspect to it of the mind and sort of mindset and frame and stuff like that.
Mm. The tactical side,
Yes, and
because
also sort of embodying some sort of spirit, I guess, of either
mhm,
rage or confidence or, stuff like that.
mhm, using every bit of chess pieces to get the fullest effect to your own wrestling match as a whole.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And do you strive for focus more than other things, or what mind state what makes it, what makes you win more often?
Hmm. Whenever all of the puzzle pieces is there at the same time,
Yeah,
when all of the pieces connect and you just go through the motions, I'm also almost like a ballet dancer that is just going through the motion, and I'm just treating arm wrestling like a dance.
Yeah.
But whenever I feel tired up here,
Mm.
my diagnosis then, at least for me, can really work against me.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when I was pulling at the Swedish nationals, when I managed to beat Alexander Råbring, that has been, by the way, kicking my ass for over a fucking decade, and now I finally got one over
Yeah.
you.
Congratulations. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But the reason that one specific pin came to mind is mostly because of how strong and how dangerous Alexander Råbring really is.
Yeah.
And for that, when I was able to outmaneuver him and managed to drill that down, I had such an reaction that I was almost dragging him with me on my celebration tour.
Yeah, it was in the strap.
And
Yeah.
yeah, there was in the straps.
Yeah.
And the referees had to basically drag me back to the armwrestling table, and after like 3 seconds, the realization hit me like, oh fuck, what did I just do? Because me and Alexander Råbring are like brothers from another mother,
Yeah.
and when I was almost dragging him with me, I was just like, oh no, honey, I'm so sorry, man. And Alexander Råbring just smiled but said, brother, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's good sport. Yeah. I wanted to ask you more about content creation. What's the best and worst parts about content creation, you think?
People think that it is very easy, but at the same time, it really is not easy, because nowadays, when you basically have everything at your disposal, it is very hard to make original content without slightly having the same idea as everybody else.
Yeah.
So what I ever learned is that try to at least make a content that is about arm wrestling, but at the same time, they are watching you, having like sharing your thoughts about the certain matches and stories that they have during arm wrestling. And with this, I had this conversation with Neil Pickup, and he said something in the lines of people by people.
Yeah.
And that is how arm wrestlers become a lot more interesting as not only just an athlete, but also as a person. And one of the biggest examples of that I can say right off the bat is Heidi Andersson.
Yeah.
Because she put herself out there, not only because of her arm wrestling trajectory that she had, but she was also open about her personal life, her struggles, and people connected to her because of it. And that is something that I try to say to new arm wrestlers out there that are feeling like they have done this much, but nobody pays attention to them.
Yeah.
So I try to just say that if you are open enough and transparent enough about your own character, people will go along for the ride. That is one of the many things that I try to do is on my Instagram page, on my TikTok page, and all of that. Try to share different stories that I've been dealing with my diagnosis, and with how I'm using that to my own benefit, not only outside the table, but on the table as well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like this sort of narrative view of the story is something very important, because you have to understand that symbolically arm wrestling is a gladiator sport. And if you're boring, no one's going to want to watch you. And there's plenty of examples of other sports that are just too boring to watch. And that's why people like team sports, because they follow the team and the story of the team and the different players and stuff like that. Whereas a lot of powerlifting competitions are just empty seats, no one's watching. And
They just they're just seeing the athlete and nothing else.
yeah, exactly. And if you just want to be the best in the world at arm wrestling and go the sort of normal way of doing this sort of different tournaments, and you don't care about fame, then that's fine. But if you want to get sponsorships and get big matches, then you have to. Do you remember the scene from Gladiator where he kills the guy
Yeah.
too fast and he's like, "Are you not entertained?" Because they're booing him.
Are you not
Yeah,
entertained?
yeah,
Are you not entertained?
yeah, exactly. And you got to learn to
Mhm.
entertain as well, because
Yeah,
it is.
that is a balance that you need to have in
Yeah,
order to sell as much of yourself as possible.
yeah, 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 exactly. For me, the worst part about content creation for sure is the editing. I'm so sick
Oh
of
yeah.
how much
Oh yeah.
it's just insane, because the difference,
Mhm.
a little bit of editing, fine, half an hour. And then the next step is just boom, 10 hours immediately. And man,
Mm.
it is exhausting, especially for me as I'm doing daily clips, right?
Mm. Yeah, that is whenever I'm trying to do like longer videos, it can sometimes take me a bunch of hours, but sometimes it can basically take me days
Yeah.
in order to get a full functional video that I have to like put out less quality like content in the meanwhile,
Yeah.
like putting up YouTube shorts, filming like shorter type of videos, and sometimes I'm just putting on my phone camera as I'm basically
Yeah.
doing right now, and just talking for like 5-6 minutes about a certain topic, and then I'm just putting it out there so I can have more time to do the longer quality videos so that I can guarantee that people will enjoy a lot more. So
Yeah, for me, I've just resorted to whenever I have the time and the passion, I will do some sort of more edited, high quality video, because honestly, for my videos, it doesn't seem to matter. Some videos perform well that are just like this, and just the phone camera, and some clips that I spent like 12 hours on doesn't do well at all. So it's good because I don't feel pressure to edit my videos, at least.
mm, that is like the backside of knowing how the YouTube algorithm or any algorithm is working, because you need to perfectly time it
Yeah.
in order for it to garner as much traction as humanly possible.
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes you can find like if you are posting on this time, it can get a lot of views,
yeah,
but then like 2 days later, and I didn't notice it on my YouTube Shorts videos, like I was posting for like the same time,
yeah,
like 3 days straight. Well, two of them got like 2,000 views, and one of them got like 10,000 views,
yeah,
and another one garnered on like 100 views, and I was just like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
it doesn't make sense.
no, it's so funny. This was the sort of next question that I had, and it's about sort of adapting to what you might think the algorithm likes. And for me, find myself over and over like, man, now I'm just trying to please the algorithm and I'm having less fun. And that annoys me
Mm.
very much. And I think they have installed some sort of ever changing algorithm so that people can't learn and hack the system anymore as well.
Mm.
And what's your approach to that? Do you sort of try and match the algorithm, or do you try to stop yourself, or?
Mm. because it is always nice to study how the algorithm is working on a basic level and all of that. But when you are going to the deep dive, at least to my understanding, or limited understanding in this type of subject, is when you said a moment ago that the algorithm is ever changing and all of that, it made me think about the Enigma machine that the Nazi Germany was using in order to provide their intel to other soldiers in the field.
Yeah.
So Alan Turing had to create a different computer algorithm so they could match the Enigma
Yeah. Yeah.
in that case. So whenever it comes to algorithms and all of that, sometimes it can really benefit you, and sometimes it can really work against you.
Yeah.
And one video that you have put like hours in does not garner 1,000 views.
Yeah.
But some videos that you just recorded on your phone and just edit like for 20 minutes gets like 3,000-4,000 views. And sometimes, to my autistic brain, that really tears my brain in half.
Yeah. It's super annoying, but it's also good, I guess, because it sort of evens out the playing field. I saw a video, from a while back where someone had shown exactly how he had cracked the algorithm for YouTube Shorts and made a new channel, and just within a week was just like insanely viral. And I feel like this at least gives a chance to sort of smaller creators to not be, because if the algorithm was very crackable, then I feel like there would be a clique of people that would just take over the platform if they knew the patterns and stuff like that. So I think that's good.
Public knowledge about the certain topic at hand can really benefit you.
Yeah.
In one way or the other.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw some post a while back from you that finding arm wrestling was kind of like coming home. Do you remember the context of that? I do believe it was something to do with your autism and community, perhaps.
Yeah, I do remember how the community itself was affecting me when my grandfather passed away in November 2012, and I was going around, did not even know too much, and I just started traveling around a lot to arm wrestling competitions, and then I tried to basically like put myself as much to these arm wrestling competitions as humanly possible. And the more I did it, the more I got more confidence in my social skills, and I could make a lot more friends and acquaintances, friends, and even in some cases, like a family member, but not blood related. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it completely makes sense, because having some sort of general interest, some reason to be there, and something to talk about, like to fall back on, is a great thing for forming friendships and stuff like that. Because just walking up to a stranger on the street and trying to become friends, it's quite a difficult thing. And school and stuff like that is just that, but forced together. And I think that's why a lot of people find a lot more friends and community in sports.
Exactly. And that is why arm wrestling is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Because I don't know how it is in other sports with how the camaraderie and all of that is in that type of environment. But in arm wrestling, it is like we are basically going to big family gatherings of individuals that just love the sport as a whole. and you can be from the north of your country, and you can be in the south of your country, but then you meet up in one exact location.
Yeah.
Then you can just reconnect and just oh, hey buddy, sorry I have to whoop your ass later on in this tournament,
Yeah.
but I hope that you buy a beer for me afterwards so we can catch up.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's great. And I feel like arm wrestling is a perfect sort of combination, I guess, of it is an individual sport, but you still need people to train with. So I guess Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners experience sort of the same environment. The strongman community seem to all hate each other, and powerlifters don't seem to want to talk to each other very much. But I imagine in soccer and hockey, it is also quite intense friendships and community, of course, because if you're playing on the same team, I guess.
Yeah, almost like in hockey that you just want to beat the living piss out of each other and just call it a day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So when it comes to, and like I told you before, I am studying to become a clinical psychologist, and we're getting to this sort of autism spectrum and stuff like that, but we're not there quite yet. It seems like it's sort of different and the same in various different people. Could you talk to me a little bit about that? What's different between different autistic people, and what is often the same?
This is a really broad topic that people does not really pay attention to the broader aspect to this, because I can have challenges that I deal with that somebody else has a lot easier to deal with, and I can have stuff to deal with that is like walking around with the dog at the park.
Yeah.
But for somebody else, it can be like going through burning coal and hope that your feet does not get burned too much along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So it can be a general understanding, but at the same time, it is like picturing autism and autistic spectrum like this very large tree with a lot of branches pointing out.
Yeah. And may I ask?
That is how.
Yeah, may I ask what's problematic for you besides the sort of eye contact and the sounds?
Yeah, at least for me, it can be like eye contact, overwhelming with unnecessary noises that I am not used to deal with, sudden changes with planning and all of that, and some when we have also this very tight structure on the schedules and all of that, and I don't know how it is for other people, but this is like a couple of challenges that I have to deal with basically every single day.
Yeah.
But then we are going back to this.
Oh,
Where did it go?
a little bit of a disconnect. And we're back. Yep, yep. It's crazy.
Today's technology.
Yeah, we're in 2025 and shit still doesn't work.
Oh yeah, it can really work against you.
Yeah.
When you have such a nice monologue, and somebody is throwing like a big wooden a piece of wood at you, and that the monologue is completely ruined.
Yeah, it was a sort of test for the autistic structure, I guess, handling mishaps.
If it is, but luckily I have been preparing for this scenario if it is ever happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever these type of scenarios is happening, you always can fall back to the other branch.
Yeah.
And if that branch is broken, jump into the other branch
Yeah.
and hope that it's sticking to the tree.
Yeah. Plan A, B, C, D, and E.
Oh yeah, all the way to C.
Yeah, yeah. So let's jump into some sort of what's the best moment you've been able to capture in your content creation?
Such a broad aspect to that, because there have been wonderful moments that I have been capturing live on the camera, and whenever you are trying to make a content of it, you just feeling like, oh, it's just tugging so deep on your heartstrings and all of that, if you know the proper context of that particular moment that is currently happening.
Yeah.
But for me, it was one of them was this year when Johannes was pulling in the finals in IFA Europeans against somebody that is well known within the Federation of Azerbaijan.
Yep.
And that guy have been like really high ranked. I don't know how well he placed in the international rankings when Azerbaijan was still one federation within the WF, and now it's two federations, but that is a completely different topic at this point. When you are seeing one of your close friends having a moment like that, like it's stuck at the center of the table, everybody is screaming at the top of their lungs, and you're trying to maintain as much focus as you can, because you try to keep a professional face, but your inner self is just screaming like a fucking 5-year-old
Yeah.
that is going through one of the biggest candy stores in Scandinavia, and you're just thinking like, keep focus,
Yeah.
hold, keep focus, focus. And when he was able to pin him, and he was just screaming almost indirectly at the camera, and I was just standing there like, okay, focus, almost like that meme clip of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is doing his reps, and he's just telling to somebody, hey, focus.
Yeah.
It was basically like that.
Yeah.
And when I was filming his final, and I was taking pictures when he was standing at the top of the podium, I just immediately ran to the side of the stage and was just hopping.
Yeah.
Almost like this.
Yeah.
And that moment, at least to me, was extra special when Johannes said with one of the most happiest sounds that you can make, or use one of the happiest tones ever. And he said something in the lines of, that was one of the best matches I ever had.
Yeah.
Well, I was basically hugging him when he was telling me that, and that made me a little bit extra emotional in that aspect.
Yeah.
That is one of many that has been standing out as an big contribution to everything that I've been seeing all over the years. And another moment for me was when Johannes had his debut at Iron House 4, if I'm not mistaken, when he was pulling against Alexander Koshadze, who's basically killing almost everybody in his weight category in Canada, and was ranked quite high within the youth division.
Yeah.
And he had like this career-ending death war with that. It was almost like watching somebody plays chess while the other was playing checkers.
Yeah.
And that match was basically going back and forward, and Johannes was able to win that match, and I was just jumping at the top of my feet and just stomping right down, and just went, yeah!
Yeah.
You can hear me in the background when the camera was focused on Johannes, but you could hear the audio and me stomping down at the concrete floor that was there, and I did feel it that in my feet afterwards.
Yeah, yeah,
Another moment that did stand out, and this is one that was really because I had this dream. Rather than just to see me succeed, I have a vision that I want to see others succeed. That I've been visioning that they are doing this in this particular fashion with this particular reaction.
yeah,
And to me, the standout in that regard was when Jonna Blind was able to win that IFA Worlds. And the story behind that is that the only sole reason that I did go to IFA World Championship was that I was believing that Jonna Blind did had it.
yeah, yeah,
That it was her time to shine in that particular weekend.
yeah,
So, but the unfortunate situation that the day that she was able to get the world title in that in within IFA, at the same day, I had a food poisoning.
yeah.
And it occurred when I was eating breakfast, and it was something with the milk that they had that the reaction of my body was almost like you wanted to pass out and puke at the same time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
It's
I was
the
just
worst.
trying to hold it in, and it just gotten worse as the day went on. Everybody could see that I was like a fucking pale ghost, almost paler than the ghost of a Casper.
Yeah, yeah,
I was that pale,
yeah,
and I was trying to just keep it calm, and the food poisoning got so bad. I was just laying in bed, just staring up at the ceiling, trying to just control my breathing because all of the food that I ate just wanted to come up
yeah,
this way. And Jonna saw how miserable I was, and it told me like, "You don't need to come to this. I still feel your support." It was not exactly how she said it, but with the body language and the tone of her voice, I interpreted it in that way. But as soon as she left out with Sebastian Jardin and everybody to go back into the stadium, I took that as an opportunity to just rinse. And I'm not gonna go out in detail in what was happening in that bathroom at that particular time. But I was just rinsing, and after like 5 minutes, I was drinking some Powerade just to get some fluid back in. And I took the first cab that I did see outside of the hotel room, and I'm just saying to that cab driver, drive to this location and don't be late.
yeah, yeah,
So I was going there, and luckily for me, the senior finals did not even begin at that time.
yeah,
So I was going there exactly in time, and I was managing to see Jonna Blind exceed what I was envisioning or envision
yeah,
in that moment of time.
yeah,
And she succeeded, and the happiness that I did feel watching the performance that she was able to do that day was absolutely phenomenal.
yeah,
And you can also go back to that very clip that I did the film. You could see the genuine reaction
yeah,
of Jonna in that moment in time.
yeah,
That she is just trying to play it cool, and then you can see that the genuine smile and emotion that she was portraying in that moment.
yeah.
And that for me was something that is gonna be forever remembered
Yeah, a memory
as
for
one
life.
of the
Yeah,
best moments
yeah,
ever,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Sounds amazing, really. And I can relate to the sort of thing you said about trying to be quiet behind the camera. My brother is very, very good at different kinds of motorsports, rally and folk race and motocross and stuff like that.
Mm.
And it was always my mother who filmed him. But he would tell her over and over, you need to shut up, because she was screaming her lungs out while she was filming. And in the sort of clips after that, sometimes you would hear her screaming, but with her mouth shut, you know?
So-
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, it must be amazing to be able to sort of be there for those moments of highlights. When it comes to Johannes, is it the individual or the system of Storuman? I don't know your system of training or anything like that, but is he? Of course, he is a special individual. But how much do you attribute to Johannes versus the environment?
Yeah, when it comes to me and Johannes, Johannes is one of my oldest friends ever. We have basically been knowing each other almost 2 decades now. So I know a bit, a thing or two how he operates, and sometimes whenever I'm spotting, like when he like have a headache or anything like that, I usually ask him if you need paracetamol and all of that. So when we were going to Iron House 4, I tried to minimize the stress for him as much as I humanly could.
Yep.
So he could just go there, have a great ass time, and just focusing on with all of the recordings and the match itself. So I could take out a huge portion of that stress moment, so he did not have to basically feel a thing otherwise than to just eat, sleep, and arm wrestle.
Yeah, yeah.
And going back to with how we are doing things in Storman Sport is that we are trying to see the individuals to the best of our abilities, and sometimes we can utterly fail, and sometimes we can exceed in trying to see how every individual is working on a personal level. That is also that I try to communicate as much as I possibly can with how they are putting the pressure and how they could increase the pressure, but say it in a manner that works for every person as a whole.
Yeah, yeah.
And some person that you need to be a little bit careful how you are phrasing with the wordings and all of that. And some people you just need to basically go directly in the shin and
Yeah.
get up, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You suck in this and you need to be better.
Yeah.
Come on, you need to be better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Works better with some people for sure. Yeah. So there is a system, but the
And
system
whenever
is
you sing don't be such a coward.
Yeah.
Don't be such a like a cunt, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is a system, but it is sort of the system is to look at the individual, I guess.
Yeah, to the best of our abilities. And whenever we are doing the warm-ups, we are trying to do them as much not to arm wrestling specifics, but in a general sense, stretching out your joints and doing this type of movements so you can get some blood circulation throughout the inner joints and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're trying to warm up our whole body instead of just going up to the arm wrestling table, and then you doesn't necessarily connect as when you are usually having like a 15-20 minute warm up before you are even stepping into the arm wrestling table. I don't know how it is with your club, but that is something that we in Storuman try to implement to our daily practices or weekly practices as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's very different in SIF Sport because there's three different locations and there's three different ways of approaching arm wrestling, but it's complicated. So what's next for you? What's coming up?
Oh, what's next? What is next? I have some things that are gonna occur in November, but I cannot at this moment go in too much in details on that. But if it is one thing that I will be going to, whether if I'm gonna be competing there or not, depending on how everything before is transpiring, I'm definitely gonna be present at Iron Brothers because I have heard that they are gonna be some really strong ass names that are gonna be popping in there.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm seeing that, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's on.
Yeah.
Get the cameras ready.
Yeah.
We need to have all of it captured
Yeah.
to the best of our abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing time, and I look forward to seeing your videos of it.
Oh yeah, especially when the adrenaline is on and the like hyper aggression of everybody that is on the table, and when you're just basically standing like 1 or 2 meters away, you still feel that energy and just feeling like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you and asking you these questions, and stick around for a while. I'm gonna end the recording and say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a fantastic day.
Bye bye, YouTube. Have a great day and don't be a surpuppa.
True.